What is up, Sooner Nation? What is today? It's Thursday night. Thanks for joining us today. What's up, Thunder OU Sooner? What's up, Chester Carter? Lots of you already on here. Appreciate you joining us tonight. We got Hunter in the house tonight. Jeremy will be here very shortly. Hunter filling in for a second until Jeremy can get on here. Jeremy had a busy day, so he'll be joining, but appreciate you guys. Hunter, what's going on, man?
Not much. Getting ready to be at L-Dale all weekend. So
L-Dale Field all weekend. Got the doubleheader now, correct, on OU baseball and OU.
Well, not officially. They're going to try to play at noon tomorrow.
Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
no idea. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about this time of year. You get a lot of rain, probably.
Yeah, there was a high chance of severe weather tonight, and thankfully it wasn't. But thunderstorms throughout most of Oklahoma tonight. Yeah. So
it's gonna be good night's sleep. Good night's sleep with that storm. Hey, I want to say this. I saw something about TV. I don't want to talk about that, but what I do want to talk about is TV shows, man. I'm telling you, go watch Hunter. I told you about it tonight. Go watch Shogun, guys. Shogun on FX.
I haven't had much time to watch TV.
Go watch Shogun. You will thank me later. You will not be disappointed.
Well, right now I'm kind of conflicted. Like Full Swing just came on Netflix. Any free time I have, that's kind of what I want to start watching. That's one of my favorite documentaries. They did it last year. It was great. This year's is really good through the first few episodes.
There it is. That Thunder OU Sooner. That show is awesome.
He could be talking about Full Swing, but
I think he's talking about Shogun, but we'll see. Hey, Colin says, got to talk to Michael Hawkins and Dejon Mitchell at Canes at Campus Corner today. Seems they have a good bond. Yeah, they do have a good bond. I mean, that was, in fact, I think Michael Hawkins coming to OU was a big deal for Dejon Mitchell to end up at OU. And so
they were teammates at Allen, had a really good connection there. A lot of touchdown passes between the two of them. A lot of big plays between the two of them as well at Allen before Dejon made the move to Los Alamitos in California.
Yeah, and Colin, does Dejon Mitchell look like a freak in person? I mean, he's a
big guy,
athletic specimen.
I've seen him around. He's a big guy. Looks even bigger than what he's listed as.
Yeah, Kyla. That's awesome. Kyla's going to be at Love's Field on Saturday. That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to make it to Love's Field. Really want to check it out. State-of-the-art stadium. Historic for college softball and women's sports as a whole. But back to Dejon Mitchell really quick. Supposed to be a junior in high school, look at him, you wouldn't think it.
No.
He looks like an SEC college football player.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure he looks a lot different now than he did when he came into OU because Schmitty got with him, and looked like Schmitty did a Danny Okoye. He run in a 4.56 40 at 235, 255.
If I had to guess, the 40 time was at the beginning. I could be wrong though. If I had to guess, so I don't know if that's an accurate number. Now that he's up to 255, but at 40 time, regardless, that's impressive for even at 233 pounds as a defensive end.
That's right. And everybody probably saw the graphic as they got in here. We're going to be talking some Cheetah tonight. And I think on the graphic, it's Harrington, Dolby, and McCullough. Is there another name, Hunter, that you would throw into the mix for that position at all this year?
Peyton Bowen. I
don't know. What are they going to do with Bowen? I'm almost ready for him to find a spot and go with it.
It's even interesting. What are they going to do with Kendall Dolby? Dolby could move over to corner some. Like, he's just so versatile. It's so hard to keep Peyton Bowen off the field. I think RSJ starts at opposite side of Billy Bowman, and that's not a knock on Peyton Bowen. You have to get Peyton Bowen on the field. He's a
Yeah.
5-star safety that played like it as a true freshman before he had that just nagging injury for the last half of the season. And year 3 for RSJ. He really impressed me in the limited action he saw last year, and I would think he takes that year 3 jump.
Yeah. What's up, Don Dada Showtime? Big Boomer. Stone majoring in biochemistry or something along that line. Hey, somebody said Boganowski in here. I know he's very young. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a year before I actually get to see him do a whole lot. Mess says the injury only keeps Peyton Bowen off the field.
Yeah. The safety room's interesting. Because, you have Boganowski. You have Jaden Hardy, too. You also have Eric McCarty coming back from injury. That's an interesting position group because it seems that 3 guys at the top, and then there's also the young guys that, I mean, if they're as good as everyone thinks they are, it's hard to keep them off the field.
Yeah, a couple good comments here. Think it's best for Bowen to be more free. McCullough bringing the heat. What about Jacoby Johnson? And then RSJ run support is key. And real quick on the Bowen thing, do you think his best position will be where Bowman's playing right now?
Say that one more time.
Do you think Peyton Bowen's best position would actually be where Bowman's playing? But Bowman's there right now?
I mean, probably so. I think Peyton Bowen is one, though, that it doesn't matter what side of the field he's playing. Free safety, strong safety, he's going to make plays. I mean, he even went down to Cheetah last year and made a lot of plays there.
Hey, there's 2 guys, Sooner for Life. This is a great point. 2 guys I think that are young guys that will be on that Cheetah roll down the road. I think McCarty could be one of them that he mentioned. But I think that's perfect spot for a guy like Michael Boganowski. I really do. I think he fits that role really well.
I don't imagine Eric McCarty at Cheetah. Just
too small.
Yeah, and then it's also hard to say because you also have Kendall Dolby playing Cheetah.
Yeah,
so it's a similar thing. Like,
do you look for the Cheetah to change a little bit with Zach Alley?
Yes, I think it changes a lot. Last year, you lost Justin Harrington after the second game of the season. Like, that was a big loss. Kind of changed how the position was used. This year. You have them back. You also have Dejon McCullough, Kendall Dolby, Peyton Bowen. We mentioned all those names. So I think you're going to see a lot of different uses at the position. Also, at the end of the season, you started to see a little bit more of that 3-man front. If Oklahoma's able to get that down, I mean, that adds another defensive back or linebacker you can throw in there as additional support there, kind of get multiple of those skill players on the field.
And Matt Rhodes, thanks for joining tonight. Who are the starting corners? Let's answer that one, Hunter, and then we'll go to Colin. Who's your starting corners right now on March 7th?
Woody Washington and Gentry Williams.
Yeah,
I think that's right. It just Jacoby Johnson is not far behind in my opinion.
So who's your 2 deep?
2 deep, Johnson and Des Malone behind this.
So those 4 is kind of what you're thinking.
Yes.
I'm not gonna really argue that. I think that's pretty good 4.
I was impressed last year with Jacoby Johnson as a true freshman that did not early enrollee. Was very impressed with him. And I mean, you look at his size, about 6'4". I mean, that's rare these days at corner.
KJK 33 says Johnson is a corner. Wow. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's you don't usually see a 6'4" guy there. They're usually on the opposite side of the ball playing wide receiver. And Jacoby Johnson's going to be playing corner at Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I saw Chester's comment about some guys he mentioned. Vickers is a guy I think you got to watch for. He's right there on that 2 deep. I think he's right there.
I think it's that. See, that's the other one. You have Vickers. You also have Josiah Wagner.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Jocelyn Malaska. A lot of
Yeah.
talk on him. How much is it? Coaches talk. I don't know. We'll see once spring ball picks up and April 20th gets here. Get to see the spring game and see it in person. Hopefully.
Didn't even mention Kenai Walker either. I mean, they got some guys at cornerback. I mean,
Ryan, I'm interested to see what his number is. Having to switch numbers. I didn't even realize that till you said it. Yeah, Nigel Smith wearing number 6. So,
yeah, what is the Vickers going to be?
I don't know. Hopefully, the roster should be getting posted pretty soon.
Oh, it will by spring practice, I would think.
Okay, yeah, Jacoby Johnson is 6'2". It was weird in his recruitment. There were some that kind of listed him a little higher, but I would even maybe it's because you usually see guys at like 5'11", 6'0", flat there. You see Jacoby Johnson running through drills, even in action, and he looks a lot taller than the other guys in that position room.
And Hunter, when Jeremy gets on here in a minute, this is something we need to talk about right here. And so remind me if we're going to start talking about it now, but I want to talk about it with him because I know how he kind of thinks on this. Bobby says, I think the plan is to run a lot more 3-3-5 and 3-2-6 to utilize the talent we have. BB mentions Allie understands the 30 front and is comfortable running it. I know there's a lot of people on here probably, and there's a lot of fans that do not like the 3-man front. Personally, I really like the 3-man front if you have the guys to run it. I think it's the best defense to run if you have the guys to do it. They have not had the guys to do it. And I think if you ask Brent Venables, he's probably been frustrated that he hasn't been able to run it. I think it really opens up a lot more things you can do with blitzes and all kinds of stuff. If you have 3 guys up front that can hold their own and get pressure and whatever. That's how he did it at Clemson, Hunter. That's how Bama's done it. That's how Georgia's done it. They do it with 3-men front. A lot of people don't like it. It doesn't look good when you don't have the dudes. But when you have the dudes, it looks great. So,
and the other thing with the 3-man front, I mean, it's not they're only rushing 3. They're also sending somebody.
Yeah, they're sending 4 or 5 usually.
It's rare that they're only rushing 3, but if you have the guy like Dejon Terry that can, I mean, control the middle of the offensive line, and then you have guys on the edge like PJ Adibawarawe, you have Danny Okoye now, you have Ethan Downs has played a lot of college football, Caden Woolard, you have Trace Ford even, veteran guys there, R. Mason Thomas, can't believe I haven't mentioned him yet. If they can do their part there, I mean, the 3-man front's what you want to run.
Well, and a lot of people hear 3-man front, and like you said, they think they're going to hold back. They're going to lay everybody back, rush 3, drop 8. That's not – there is people that do that, but that's not what the teams like Clemson and Alabama – they don't rush 3, drop 8.
They'll do it at times, but they're not going to do it. They're not going to run it the whole game. They're going to be sending at least one guy. I mean, even last year, some with the 4-man front, it seemed like they were sending a backer pretty often. Kendall Dolby rushed off the edge from that position. Jaron Kanik rushed passer a lot. Danny Stutzman even. I think it allows a lot of different looks. I mean, that's what
it confuses the offensive line.
Yes, that's
because
what
you don't know who's rushing.
Yeah, and the other
when it's
thing,
a 4-man front, you know who's coming. At least those 4.
Yeah.
So, Matt Rhodes, great question. What are the chances of OU having a top 5 recruiting class for 25? I'll give you a percentage chance on it, Matt, where I think things are trending right now. And I think for OU to have a top 5 class, I think right now they're sitting about a 70-75% chance. I really do. I think it's pretty high based on what I'm hearing on offensive linemen. That's where I'm basing my prediction at, because they've already got some receivers committed. You got the offensive lineman Foje, who got real quick, went from a 3 to a 4-star, and he's going to keep rising. Mark it down. He's going to keep rising.
247.
Yeah. And then, and then Haywood, trending towards OU, a lot of future cast, 5-star offensive lineman. You have Fasusi, who is high on Oklahoma, 5-star offensive lineman. You have Lamont Rogers also being talked about with Oklahoma. Now, they're not landing all those guys. They're not. But it's kind of like the power line in 2024. You land two to three. If you land 2, it's great. If you land 3, it's unbelievable. But you're not landing all 4. But, hey, they already got Owen Hollenbeck committed as well. I'm just saying, I think it's looking good for them to get a top 5 class. I would say, and I don't think 70% is like, ooh, that's so high. But I think that'd be about right now. And
I won't give a percentage. It's way too early to say that.
It is.
I mean, you're looking at potentially 2 5-star offensive tackles and Ty Haywood and Michael Fasusi. You're looking at potentially Jonah Williams.
Jonah Williams, didn't even mention him.
Linebacker, safety, athlete. Really does it all on the defensive side of the ball. It would be very hard to not have a top 5 class. I think the one thing that holds Oklahoma back, top 5 class, is you're going to see a good chance the 25 limit is back into effect. And then also, even with that, how many guys do they actually take? That's the other thing. You can have a really good class, but if you're not getting 25 guys, you're only taking, say, 18, 19, it's a lot harder to get to that top 5 range with the way the system works.
Yeah, and hey, Gray God, this is a great question. Maybe let's touch on this, Hunter. I think Jeremy might have joined us. Hey, do y'all think OU should expand the recruiting staff? We have the least in SEC, but we still recruit top 10.
I honestly don't know. Oklahoma's landed 4 consecutive top 10 classes, 3 of them under Brent Venables. They're in a good position to do it again this year. Even if they do take a smaller class, I think top 10 is what they're going to get. It's hard to argue that they need more people. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not there, not in the recruiting department. I don't know how it all works for them.
Yeah, Mark agreed, Hunter, about the classes top 5 due to quantity.
Hunter left us, man.
Eric, what's that?
I said Hunter left us.
Hunter out, man. I probably saw you join.
Yeah, Eric J. I think the smaller class size is going to make it a little more difficult. But you really are 2 to 3 guys can get you to top 5 in the class.
The guys like Haywood, Fasusi, and Jonah Williams, 3 5-stars. That jumps your class way up if you land them.
Hey, in regards to what the question was about recruiting staff, I mean, what adding more recruiting staff members, in my opinion, would be, in my opinion, Jay, would be just maybe make it less burnout of an option for those that are doing it. I mean, that would be my main thing.
Yeah. Hey, we touched on this earlier, but I wanted to talk about it with you. Your thoughts. Sounds like from Bobby put the comment on here about Brent Venable and Zach Alley wanting to run a lot more 3-3-5 or 3-2-6 this year. Your thoughts?
Jay, my thoughts on 3-3-5, 3-2-6, 4-3-4, whatever. In my opinion, you got to go where your strength is. So if that's 3 down linemen, which it sounds like that's what it's going to be, and then bringing, maybe making it disguised a little more as far as where you're bringing people. Look, it's hard to say, Jay, because a lot of it's going to be matchups.
Yeah, but I think a 3 down lineman is the best way to go if you have the guys.
Well, yeah, Jay, that's what they would want to play, don't you think?
Okay, and real quick, let's go back to the question Gray God brought up. Okay, I was wondering if that's what you were talking about, Gray God. And in that aspect, they have to beef that up, because you're talking about guys like, they have J.R. Sandlin that left. They had Lee Davis leave. Haven't heard a whole lot other than Lofton, correct? And they're still trying to figure out that, I think, as far as what his role is going to be. So in that aspect, is that what you're talking about, Gray God? I think that might be what you're talking about, the behind-the-scenes stuff. They haven't really announced what they're going to do with that. So I agree with that.
Mark,
Sooner fan thinks we should run a 2-2-3-4.
Sooner fan is being facetious. Jay, I got to respond to Mark because honestly, Mark, there's been in the SEC.
You cut out for a second, Jeremy.
I said there are teams that can do that in the SEC. If OU's got the dudes, that's what they're going to run.
Mark says 3 linemen is not an SEC D line that's going to. Hey, Mark, Georgia and Alabama, that's how they've won with 3 down linemen a lot of times. Clemson, they won natties with 3 down linemen. I think the great defense is if you have the guys are running 3 down linemen. That, like me and Hunter talked about earlier, that does not mean you're rushing 3 guys. That means you have 3 down linemen and you may have 2 other guys coming.
Yeah, and Jay, what's the rule on the analysts in recruiting? There's some definite rules that I'll just be honest, haven't studied enough as far as what analysts can and cannot do. Obviously, I think they can do some things in the world of on visits and helping and things like that, but he's not going to be a recruiting guy.
And Bobby says J.R. Sandlin specifically left because he was overworked and didn't see help coming. That's what Bobby says. I mean,
yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to earlier.
Brian says that's why I'm happy some of y'all aren't coaches. Are you referring to the ones that don't like the 3-3-5, Brian?
Yeah, that's what he's referring to. Hey, Jay, I've got to. Jimmy says, "Can you stop the run with 3 down linemen?" Well, listen, 3 down linemen doesn't mean no one else is going to be on the line of scrimmage, guys. They may have 6 around the line of scrimmage, but there's 3 guys with their hand in the ground, okay? That's 3 down linemen.
Yeah, and we could argue this all day long, but I just know what I've watched in college football, and some of the great defenses that's been out there have rushed 3. Have had 3 down linemen. So you can't say it doesn't work. I think it doesn't matter what defense you run at all. It depends on your personnel. And that's as a coach, and I trust Brent Venables to run what he thinks. Now, I will say the first year under Brent Venables, he tried to get in that 3-man front quite a bit, and they didn't have the dudes at all. And I think that's why it didn't look that great, because you just didn't have the guys. But I think Brent Venables deep down wants to run that more than he has. And Zach Alley's a guy that probably wants to run it too. Yeah, you do need a dominant big man. I think Dejon Terry can be a really good guy right in the middle. I do. And also, David Stone and Jaden Jackson are not chopped liver guys. They're not. They're freshmen, yes, but they're not. Nobody's saying they can't come out there and play and contribute. I think they will. Both of them. I think both of them will contribute this year.
Here's what I would say.
I do think they might get a guy out of the portal. And we talked about this last week. Ashton Sanders right now seems to be on the up and up. So we'll see.
Yeah. Look, I apologize for being a little late. I was anger management class tonight after last night's breakdown. So I apologize. Whether it's 3-3-5 or what was the other one that was thrown out there was 3-2-6. Regardless, I do think Zach Alley's going to have the back 5 or the back 8, whatever you want to say, closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, probably. And listen, we're not saying they're going to run 3 down linemen exclusively. There's going to be times they're running 4. We're just, and KJ Key 33 says it perfectly. Keep them guessing, name of all games. I think here's the thing. Here's how we can end this part of the conversation on live is Brent Venables and Zach Alley want to be more, probably run more than they did last year on the 3 down linemen. I think that's what they're saying is, hey, we'd like to run 3 down linemen more than we have. You got 3 down linemen, you got 4 down linemen, run it both, mix it up. But I think that's probably what they're wanting to do.
Yeah, look, and actually Jaden Jackson's at 297, not quite 300. I was actually kidding, guys. I wasn't at anger management, okay?
Are you because somebody commented? Is that why?
I was at a track meet, just walked in the house, so it's been a long, long day. But I did have a little bit of breakdown when I slammed my hand on the table on the desk last night after Jay's debacle of a question. But I'm good. It was a good day today. I'm excited to be on here with you guys.
Yeah, Yeah, Greg says Jaden's already at 300.
I think he's 297, Jay.
He's right there. He'd be 300 by tomorrow. Breathe, roll over. Next day, he'll get up. He'll be 300. That's right. Basically, after a meal. Hey, Cracker Mac, there's not a whole lot of guys at 330 that can move. I mean, I'm just going to be flat out honest with you.
What's Dejon Terry's weight, Jay? 310?
I don't have it in front of me. Maybe Hunter can look it up.
What's your guess? I guess 312.
I guess 307.
Hunter, look it up, bud. Appreciate it. Hunter can look that up for us. That would be extravagant, Jay. Bad word there. That would be
extravagant.
Yeah, wrong word, Jay. It's been.
Hey, 330.
Roscoe, he's not 330. 321, though, Jay.
Well, he's bigger
there
than
you
I
go.
thought. Bigger than I thought it was. There you go. Hey, got trivia tonight. Trivia.
Boom.
Hey, fanstop.com. Hey, every time I say trivia, your camera goes off. I don't know where you go, but
I was yawning and getting ready to get a drink of Dr.
Gotcha.
Pepper.
Hey, before we get started with trivia, go to fanstop.com. Check it out. Subscribe to the Shirt a Month Club. You're going to want them. Promise you. I've already seen the April shirt. Wow. Really cool shirt. Really cool design. Use code SURGE when you sign up, though, because you'll get 10% off your next first 3 months. So please do that. And for the trivia tonight, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is a unique day in sports history as a certain NFL player announced his retirement on this day in history. A really, really good Hall of Fame player in 2016, I believe it was. So who am I talking about? Announced his retirement, 2016, I think. Announced his retirement from NFL football. You know it, Jeremy?
I think I do.
Really? Boom! That was quick.
There it is.
Sooner fan. Yep, Peyton Manning. And he's still involved with football, and he's going to have a long-time career in media because he's really great on commercials and all his stuff he does. So good job, Sooner fan.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
I want to get to Mark's point here, and I want to respond to it in this way. Listen, Mark Hampton says, I think we're in the best position we've been in defensively, fellas. I'm still thinking 2025 going to be our year. And here's what I would say. There is no fault, no sunshine pump. It's not a sunshine pumper to make that claim, Jay. I absolutely 100% agree with Mark. I know some people don't, but there's nothing wrong with saying defensively, on paper, absolutely should be the best year yet. That actually is a fact. Second thing is, Mez dropped the size of Dejon Terry. Listen, if you didn't say it was Dejon Terry, if I just dropped in that OU's got a 6'3", 320-pound guy that can play the middle of the line, people are, oh, give me that guy. But for some reason, I'm going to say this. There's a lot of people who, and I'm just going to be frank, they think Dejon Terry's trash. I don't understand that.
Well, I just don't think
Dejon Terry's going to be elite.
I don't think he's got talked about enough, really.
That's my point, Jay. People act like he's not very good.
I think he played pretty good last year, to be honest. And he's also played in the SEC before. So you have that going. So
underrated, underappreciated Dejon Terry is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, go like and subscribe. It helps big time. Hey, Mess says on paper, OU's defensive coaching staff has improved too. You're
exactly.
Right. And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. It's on paper. And here's what I'll say. I'm going to play devil's advocate to you.
You always do this.
And if Eric's on here, he's going to probably agree with this. But yes, they should be better. But also, should be better. I want to know this. Are you basing they should be better on the returning people or the newcomers?
Yes and yes.
But which one are more, you think?
They go together, Jay. They've got everyone coming back except for one guy. Their freshman class is better.
But
and the
here's
guys
what
that were on campus last year are better. And the coaching staff's better. Why would this team not be the best defense they've had under BV?
I agree. And listen.
I think the bigger question, Jay, is, why would you say they won't be better? Like, what reasons do you have that they won't be better? Because I just laid out plenty of reasons they should be better. So why won't they be better?
I think they will be better. Eric, 9-3 because their schedule's brutal. I think, and they could get to 10-2 this year. I just think 9-3 is probably where they're in up. I do. And I think, you know why I would base I think this year their competition is going to be better, but I actually think the reason they're going to lose a game they shouldn't this year, maybe because of turnovers on offense.
Yeah,
and I think Jackson Arnold is unreal, but I can't fathom or expect Jackson Arnold to go in there and just play flawless football throughout the season in the SEC competition. I think he's going to struggle a game, and it could be a loss. That's my opinion.
Jay, who Georgia lose to last year?
They lost to Alabama.
Okay. Did they play any other close games? No.
Hey, Monty. Monty's correct, Hunter. I was on that when he did that. We just haven't updated the standings. You're right, Monty.
And Hunter's going to add you. But, Jay, my point is, 2 years ago, Georgia, I think, went to overtime or barely beat Missouri. Listen, Georgia didn't play anyone last year, did they?
I thought they played Missouri, did they not?
If Georgia played OU's schedule, they would not run through it because they lost to Bama last year. So
did they lose to Missouri?
No.
Did they beat Ole Miss usually?
Yeah, they beat. Did they play Ole Miss last year? I think they did.
Not last year.
They didn't? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't play them last year.
I'm just saying, Texas, Ole Miss, Missouri, at LSU. Georgia doesn't play that schedule ever.
Hey, OU, I will be if they don't go 9-3, I will be disappointed. I know that's high hopes. Like, I get it, but it is that Roscoe says it right. It's the SEC. I think most Sooner fans would take 9-3 next year in playoff.
Well, 9-3 should get you to the playoff. Should. We don't know for sure.
Could.
I agree. And listen, for all the people, and I'm going to say, I know people are going to come at me. The people who think that LSU is a pushover next year, I don't know what you're watching.
Hey, I don't want to talk about Dalpost. I don't want to talk about what if 7-5 or 6-6, but I'll tell you this right now: if that's what happens, I think there's going to be a lot of people questioning things.
Jay, what's your thoughts on LSU? Because I'm higher on LSU than most people are.
Well, I think they'll be good. I don't think they'll be great. Now, can they beat OU? Yes. What about Tennessee, Jeremy? Where do you have them?
Worst case scenario, 9-3. Hey, you're wrong. No quarterback at LSU. They have a quarterback that played really, really good in the bowl game. And
can't base it off one game, though.
He was a highly recruited guy, Jay.
That doesn't
that's my point. Everyone's saying that the quarterback at LSU is trash. I don't think so.
Mark says, I'm thinking 9-3s are where is it here? 9-3s are floor. 10-2 is a hell of a season. Fine line there. Yeah, it is a very fine line.
Malik Neighbors definitely hurts. I agree. Their defense wasn't great, so a new one might not hurt them. It was time for a change there.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think, and I don't think this is wrong, there's a lot of people that think Tennessee, right, the holdup for Tennessee being maybe a playoff team or whatever is their young quarterback and the inexperience. The same could be said about Oklahoma. I mean, if you want to look at a holdup, it's because he's started one game. Not to say that that's fair. I think he's a great quarterback. I just think nationally, the reason why people now 7.5 games as the over-under is absolutely ridiculous. That's stupid. I think most people would take the over on that. I think the over should be 9, 8.5. Bet, So I don't know.
The O-line does not necessarily mean trash. Look, again, Jay. Here we go. I'm gonna get what do we have? 10 minutes here. I'm just gonna
Did you
say
just grab a pencil?
Yeah, I do. I always have one. I take notes from the viewers. Eric, you can't say the O-line is going to be trash. You can say the O-line is going to be inexperienced, yes. You cannot say the O-line is going to be trash. Can't.
No, you
Shouldn't
can't
say that. What?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Okay, but you can't say they're going to be trash. I'm not saying they're going to be elite, but I'm not going to say they're going to be trash. You don't know that.
Ron, what do you mean by this? Expand on that, please. What are you saying? Yeah, Jimmy says the O-line will not be trash booking. And
they've never had a trash O-line.
Yeah. What's up, SG? How are you tonight?
SG's a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Should join the Discord.
That's right. Defense will get better throughout the year. I think that's fair. Hopefully, it's really good at the start of the year. And I think
but it has been. That's really my only complaint the last 2 years under BV. It's been better at the beginning of the year than later on.
I agree.
That's my complaint.
I agree. I think
Eric's terrible.
Eric's talking about the offensive line was terrible the first half of the season.
Were they terrible the first half of the season?
Yeah, they couldn't get it figured out. Couldn't get it figured out, Jeremy.
I would say this, Eric and Jay. They were terrible at run game. I don't think their pass protection was bad at all with DG.
Hey, Eric.
And you're wrong on this one, too.
Why?
To say that nobody wanted.
Well, I think what he's saying is like the top schools. I mean, it's not like they got these guys that were wanting to go to Georgia or Alabama. I think that's what Eric's saying.
Hey, Eric.
But don't forget,
Eric,
who was the best lineman last year other than Tyler Gowning? I mean, say Tyler Gowning, right?
Walter Rouse.
Yeah. Cade Matoyer.
Cade Matoyer came from where? California? No one wanted him, I guess.
And Gray God.
Fabechi Miwu was wanted.
He will be the best one, and he was very wanted. Dead or alive. How's the song go, Bon Jovi?
Spencer Brown and Michael Tarquin. I'm not saying Tarquin's going to be any good, but they're both in Power 5 conferences. So I'll say that. I mean, again, I don't want to sit here and talk all offensive line because we don't know what it's going to look like yet. But we can't say it's going to be trash yet either. And I'll say this as far as the O-line last year. You say no one wanted him. No one wanted these portal guys, Eric. Eric, was Dylan Gabriel highly wanted? When he came to OU.
I think there was a lot of people that didn't want Dylan Gabriel.
No, they didn't go after Dylan Gabriel. So I guess he was trash too.
Well, I mean,
you can't say just because no elite teams I'd have to look, see who offered Fabechi or if he went anywhere else. But to say that no one wanted him, okay, I think that's a stretch.
Real quick.
No one wanted Eric Gray. No one wanted Eric Gray. He turned out pretty good.
Real quick, let me talk about something. Bill Beatenbow, okay? Nobody's going to argue on here that Bill Beatenbow is not a good coach. He will develop guys. And here's where I think what's happened over the last few years. I think when Lincoln Riley left, I think Bill Beatenbow has had to kind of build that offensive line back. He's tried to do it from the portal to try to fill the gaps. But let's face facts. What he really wants is what he got in 2024 with the recruiting class and what it looks like he might get in 2025. That's what you have to have in the SEC, and he's doing it. I think he's going to do it in 2025. I think it'll be the bar none. I think it'll be the best class he ever puts together. And 2024 is pretty dang good. So it's going in that direction. Obviously, you have to fill gaps in the portal, Eric. I mean, and guys, you take your chance. They're not going to, the guys that you could say, quote, everybody wanted, guys like Zaylan's Hurd and other guys, they lost Caden Green. I mean, all that seems to be NIL based. So you get what you can get. I mean,
listen, hey, first off, again, for the viewers that are saying, who's your team, Eric is a diehard OU fan in the Washington area. Diehard OU fan, though. And Eric's not wrong. If you want to question the O-line, I get it. I'm just saying to say they're trash. And the other thing I was going to say, I had the comment up there. Now I'm just going to lose it. But I don't remember what I had up there, Jay. I was going to respond to Something on the O line. I'll get it in a second. Sorry.
I think it was something Eric put in there. I'm trying to find it for you. Something about you say it all the time, maybe. I don't know if that was
Say
it.
what all the time?
I don't know.
Kenneth Nichols I had up here because Kenneth Nichols said something about the pass protection was so bad. That's why DG had to scramble so much. DG didn't scramble that much. Okay, that's
Hey,
one.
And listen, hey, there's nothing wrong with any OU fan on here questioning things or asking, concerned about certain positions. The fact is, we don't know if they're trash. They might be. We don't know. Nobody knows that. And I don't think now you can say, I'm concerned about the O line next year. That's a fact. I am concerned about the O line. It's a fact for me. I'm not going to come out here and say that they're going to be great. Can they be? Yeah, they can be a really good offensive unit. Are they going to be? I don't know. Is there a little bit of concern because of the inexperience at Oklahoma and how many snaps they played? Yes, fact. Okay, as Jeremy would say last night. Okay.
Hey, this is what I was going to respond to. Oh, it just moved again. But it was Eric. It was Eric saying Germ says it all the time. Let me explain here, Eric. In some positions, and this is my opinion, so take that for what it's worth. It's not a fact, but in my opinion, guys, O-line is a position that, and I know Hunter would agree with me, it's a little different than a skill position where, you have to fit a certain mold or whatever. It's got to be an elite whatever. I think O-line are guys that, in my opinion, maybe you're not a 5-star that everyone wants, and you can still be highly, highly effective at the offensive line.
I'm sorry, but that's a dumb comment. Okay. I sorry, Jeremy. I don't buy that one bit.
Okay.
You're basically saying it's okay to have 3-star offensive linemen, but you can't have 3-star wide receivers. They need to be 5-star. That's dumb. I want 5 stars wherever I can get them. Okay.
Jay, you're missing the point of what I was saying.
Whatever, dude. I don't think so. I don't think I'm missing it. Crystal, thanks for joining tonight. Friendly reminder from Crystal, by the way. I told you guys Lincoln Riley wasn't going to the NFL this offseason. And let me say the first one to admit right here, Jason was way wrong. I thought Lincoln Riley was going to the Chargers, and I was wrong. I'm dead wrong. I was about 100% sure he was leaving, so I was way off, Crystal. Kudos to you on that for sure. Brent Venables said that he's concerned about the depth of the O-line. Point blank, drop the mic, Chuck Kirk.
Jay, being concerned is different than saying trash. And Mark,
but you have to agree. Said you're not concerned. You just said you're not concerned. You said he can take 3 stars and make him great. He can, but you're not concerned.
I am so tired of people putting words in my mouth.
I didn't put words in your mouth. That's what you just said.
I didn't say he can just take 3 stars and make him great. Never came out of my mouth.
You said 3 stars is a position on the offensive line. You don't need.
I believe I said 4 stars. Actually, I think I just said you don't have to have 5 stars, is what I said.
Are you concerned about the offensive line this year?
The only concern I have is about some of the.
Yes or no question. Are you concerned about?
I'm not answering it then, Jay. Golly, man.
Wow. I asked a simple question you can't answer.
And I was answering it. You have to interrupt me.
Because
the only concern I have is the lack of experience together.
Are you concerned about the offensive line? It's not a hard question. Yes or no?
About the lack of experience together, yes.
So you're concerned about it?
Yes, about the lack of experience.
No, you're concerned about the O-line, correct?
Jay, is there a difference in saying concerned and trash? Yes, that's my point.
Yeah, there's a difference between that for sure. There's a difference.
Chuck's not calling him trash. When Chuck said drop the mic, he was saying that BB said there's a concern there and they could add more depth. He didn't say they're trash.
I 100% agree with what Chuck said. I agree.
And Jay, true or false? Is an O-line position group easier to get guys that maybe aren't 5-star guys out of the portal and have a very successful year?
I don't even know what you're asking, Jeremy.
Okay, whatever.
I don't understand.
I guess I would say OU's had success in the past with portal guys.
Purple is saying O-line and kicker, you can do that.
How many 5-star O linemen are even out there, Jay?
I can't pull it up right now.
Jay, are there more 5-star O linemen or 5-star skill players?
Well, there's a bunch of skill positions, Jeremy. So there's only one off. I mean, that's kind of weird. You can't compare that. There's a 5-star
In my opinion, if a guy has size, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Greg God's right about this. The class of 2025 is deep, and I think OU is going to go.
How many sacks did the O line give up last year, Jay?
How many what?
Sacks.
Yeah, but I think that's also kind of a tainted stat. Just as much as people hate it when defensive linemen don't get to the quarterback, as an offensive lineman, if you're blocking for 1 second, 2 seconds, you shouldn't give up a sack, Jeremy.
They couldn't run the ball first half of the year, but also you cannot blame that all on the O line. The amount of switching and running backs is a big issue, in my opinion, last year.
And Mess,
Salchuk wasn't even healthy till the second half.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Mess, this comment is really, really good. I mean, this is a great comment. And I agree with this. He says O-line are the toughest to evaluate. 3 stars can develop into high NFL draft picks. Maybe that's what Jeremy was saying. I don't know. But I agree with that because also I think in that position, some guys just develop a little bit later.
That and Jay, I don't see many movies about. I mean, I don't see Blindside written about a quarterback or receivers.
Huh? What?
It was going with Mez's point about development.
Huh? Blind?
Huh?
What? Why a movie rep? What does that have to do with anything?
Michael Oher started playing football really late. You can't do that at many positions.
Well, defensive lineman probably.
I'm saying size. Look, size is the biggest deal, in my opinion, on O-line. And OU brought in a lot of guys over 300 pounds with a lot of size.
Fact.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Burlsworth. That's true.
Eric, I want to ask Eric a question, mainly because I can. He is a Sooner Surge Unlimited member, and I appreciate Eric, even though it may seem like we don't appreciate each other. We do. We do appreciate each other. Eric.
By the way, I think in the Discord tonight, did you get mad because I interrupted?
Yeah, I did.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay. What about the Discord?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you have the table.
Eric, I was just wanting you to drop it in the chat. Do you think the linemen out of the portal are going to play, Eric?
They're going to have to play, Jeremy.
Maybe he thinks the freshmen are the guys. I don't know. I was curious. Eric, are you high on any of the linemen coming in? Any linemen? Are you excited about any of the linemen coming in? As Jay would say, do they have any upside?
Here's what let me answer that question. I'm very excited about Fabechi as the transfer. And then I'm very excited about a few from the 2024 class. Now, if you want to tell me, am I excited about Spencer Brown or Michael Tarquin? I'm not very excited. I'm not.
So Eric is excited about Fabechi, but also
me and Eric are on the same page here. Fabechi.
But Eric said Fabechi no one wanted.
Well, Jeremy, who are you excited about?
I'm excited about Fabechi. I've said all along I'm excited about Spencer Brown. Fabechi and Spencer Brown, in my opinion, are the two guys. And then how can you not be excited about Hatchet?
What? Greg God says Jay Hatchet is iffy too. Yeah, iffy on coming to OU, I think. Is that what you're saying?
The just another guy reference, until we see them play at OU, we can't just say they're just another guy.
And let me clear something up.
So if that's the case, Dylan Gabriel was just jacked too. So
David says, my guts tell me everyone's underestimating OU. Mark says, our O-line portal class group of misfits. Hey, and let me go with what Chuck says here. I think both of you guys are right. Eric, Mark, Chuck, in the fact that is the OU offensive line other than Fabechi maybe just a bunch of guys? Maybe. We don't know yet. But Chuck says also in the same sentence, basically, they can be just another guys, and they could turn out to be a good unit together with the great coach of Bill Bedenbaugh.
Hey,
Correct?
two questions here. But first, let's get to Crystal because Crystal's
Thanks,
amazing.
Chris.
Dropping a chat.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Crystal. Appreciate it. Would we be better off having the best recruiting class or best transfer class? What's the better scenario? Yes and yes.
You're better off having the best recruiting class, but I think you have to have one of the best recruiting class, but you also in the portal, you got to be like at least top 5, top 6. And it's not in how many guys you get from the portal, it's the quality of the guys you get. Because if you need a position, you're going to have to go fill that role. But you're not going to win consistently in college football this day under the transfer portal. It's got to come from recruiting, in my opinion, and that has to come from 2 to 3 classes in a row.
Jay, I like Eric.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal. Eric's being a spokesperson for us. Appreciate that, Eric. Joining the Sooner Surge chat. Hey, listen, here's what I would say, though, to you, Eric, about your comment about you saw him at UW. He's not special. Here's what I would say. Was Cade Matoyer special before he came to OU, Eric, in the Pac-12? Was Cade Matoyer special at California in the Pac-12? And if you say no, he wasn't, then what you have to say in the same sentence is, Bill Bedenbaugh was McCade Matoyer special. If you say he wasn't, then you have to say Bill Bedenbaugh is great at developing.
Yeah, but Jeremy, you were just talking about golly, what was I going to? You were talking about something with the O-line. Say it again. You were saying what about Eric? What was it? Oh, McCade Matoyer. It was McCade Matoyer.
No.
Do you think he was elite at Oklahoma?
His second year at OU, he was elite.
I mean, I think he was really good. I would not call him elite. I mean, I think he's really good. I do not.
He was arguably their best lineman, Jay.
Well, and if that's your best lineman, he's probably going to get drafted. You're not winning championships if your best lineman's getting drafted in the 8th round. He wasn't their best lineman because Tyler Guyton.
He didn't allow a sack all year.
Tyler Guyton was their best lineman, one close.
Tyler Guyton was not OU's best lineman.
Oh, yes, he was.
I highly disagree.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Not on the field. You may say on paper, yes.
No, he was on the field.
Okay.
It's not even close. I honestly sometimes concerned with what you watch.
All right. So you were happy with Tyler Guyton's production at OU?
Yes.
His last year?
Yes.
Okay. He had injuries. He didn't pan out a lot of times. He
had an injury at the end of the year, but
he was nearly benched, wasn't he? Early on, benched?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Jeremy.
I'm not questioning Guyton.
Hey,
Hunter.
Jeremy, answer this question right now. And I know the answer to this. How many times when OU
Guyton
played
is way better than Sexton.
Listen, how many times when OU played a game did you say, man, Guyton got beat or Guyton awful play by Guyton? How many times?
But I did yell at the screen. I did yell at
Answer.
I did yell at the screen every game for Guyton and penalties, yes.
He didn't even have that many. But
he had a ton of penalties. Jay, he had a ton of penalties, dude.
5 weeks. Hey, that's wild. 5 weeks to the spring game. Wow. I'll be here before you know it. Spring practice starts Monday. We're at about 53 minutes tonight. Appreciate you guys. You guys bring it every night. And listen, all of y'all, Crystal, thank you so much for the super. Thanks for being on here tonight. We appreciate it. Great question. Eric, appreciate the comments. Appreciate the topic of conversation. It was great conversation tonight. Everybody, appreciate it. It's what does Chuck say?
Time to go lay on the couch and talk to someone. Hey, no, on a for sure serious thing here is, I'm not going to beg anyone, but Eric said it right here. He's saying it again. Come see Eric on the Discord. It's $4.99 a month. Sooner Surge Unlimited. It's well worth it because we love chatting on there. Sometimes I've got to put my phone out of distance because I'm always on it, talking on the Discord.
And by the way, there's a lot of y'all that are members that are not on the Discord. And so, I mean, you're already a member. You need to get on there. So,
chance to brag on my son real quick. My son, 8th grade boy, won the mile tonight, 5:08 mile in the track meet.
5:08.
8th grade, 5:08, won the thing. Outkicked the kid
Wow.
at the end. It was legit.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah. So anyway, good day, and appreciate the Sooner Surgeon Maniacs, Surgeaholics, whatever you want to call yourself, but whatever it is, it's good. Appreciate you all. We'll see you all tomorrow night at 9:30. Thanks. Boomer.